Awesome. So I've got Cory of Georgian metalcore pioneers Norma Jean on the line. They released their Wrongdoers album in August 2013 and are heading back to Australia in April. So Cory, how's it going?
Doing all right. Feeling really good.
That's awesome. So yeah, as I mentioned, you released Wrongdoers back in August 2013. How have you found the reception? Like almost 2 years on now.
I think it's been way past. When we released that record, you kind of never know what to expect when you release a record. You don't even know what you've done at the point of release. Like you get so locked into it and isolated from the world. Writing and recording a record that by the end of it, you're just sick of all the songs and you don't even know what they sound like anymore. So, when you release a record, it's very blind. And I think that, we always have expectations that, at least it's going to go, middle of the road. But for Wrongdoers, it was way over the top of what we expected. I thought the response was, just stellar. We immediately saw people singing along and having a good time at shows to these songs. So I couldn't be more happy 2 years away from it.
Yeah, awesome. That was the first record after a couple of line-up changes that you had. The first record with Hickey, Clayton Holyoke, and John Finnegan. So what was the recording process like in the lead-up to the record? It's definitely not easy to, replace people. I'm not going to, sugarcoat that at all. When you lose people, you lose chemistry between people. And when you get someone else, you kind of have to take some time to build that chemistry a little bit. Now, for these guys, I feel like we got the perfect guys. We picked the guys that we felt like already kind of fit into what we were doing. Clayton Goose Holyoke, he was in a band called Fear Before the March of Flames, which is very stylistically similar to what we do. And John Finnegan was from a band called Loom, also very stylistically. And Jeff, the same thing, he was from a band called Handshake Murders, also very, somewhat stylistically to what we do. And so we did hit it off very well. But I think now that we've, been touring for 2 years straight, we've built even more of a chemistry that we had for that record. So we're all super excited to see what happens now that we've, built that chemistry over this time period. Yeah, sweet. You were last here in May 2013 with Varna, right before Wrongdoers was released. How'd you find that tour?
It was great. We hadn't been there in a really long time. I think the last time before. Yeah, about 5 years. I think if it was 2007 we were there with Every Time I Die. And, spending that long away from a place isn't, very good idea really for what we do. But people came out. The shows went really well. And a few of them much better than expected. So we were really happy and really excited to get back again here in April.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, you're coming back in April. You'll have support with from Melbourne's Belhaven. What are you most excited about the tour in April?
I think just being able to play these, the songs from Wrongdoers during the real record cycle. Because when we were there before, like you said, the record hadn't been released yet. So we did play a couple of songs just to kind of show them off, like, hey, we got a new record coming up, here's a song. But most of those songs we were playing were still from Meridian on before. So to really, come back and play, songs from Wrongdoers, this is pretty much the last tour on this record cycle before we really hit the books and start writing and start recording again. So it's exciting to kind of end this era, the Wrongdoers era, and see what happens next.
Yep, as you mentioned, it was right before the release of Wrongdoers. We were the first in the world to hear some of the new stuff from Wrongdoers. And as you mentioned, you're at the end of the tour cycle now.
you've posted on Twitter that you are already working on a new record. So will there be any new material premiered live this tour? Or a bit too early?
Yeah, we're not going to have anything for this tour. I mean, I guess you never know. I guess something could happen in the next couple of months, but I honestly doubt it. But, you know, it is kind of interesting that we started this tour cycle in Australia and we're going to end it there. So I think that's kind of cool, kind of full circle.
Yeah, it's a really cool full circle thing there. So yeah, how's writing on the new record going at the moment anyway?
We got together for about a week, just to all of us to, you know, show ideas. You know, we didn't put any full songs together necessarily, but just kind of like, here's an idea, and we just played them and recorded them, you know, with our phones pretty much. And everything I've heard so far sounds really, really awesome. I'm really excited to really see what happens with all these ideas, because I haven't heard anything that I didn't like. So
awesome.
I think we'll end up with a lot of material for sure.
Definitely exciting times. Where would you like to go with the next record?
I think that, you know, we always try to do something that's different from the record previous. We always try to build from things that we've done. We never want to really repeat ourselves. So that's definitely going to be in our heads. You know, we don't want to repeat what we did on Wrongdoers or Meridian or anything like that. So we're going to be looking to do that, but I think maybe more in a more extreme way. So I think you might hear a little weirdness out of us, some strange noises, and you know, maybe some space in a song that wasn't expected, things like that we just want to experiment with. You know, just trying to just really try to push ourselves to try things that haven't ever been done before, if that's possible.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's very exciting times ahead. Everyone can catch Norma Jean Thursday the 9th of April at the Evelyn Hotel. That's a newly announced show. Friday the 10th of April at the Evelyn Hotel. Both shows, the whole tour with Melbourne's Bellhaven. And yeah, 2013's Wrongdoers is out now, so definitely check that out. Keep your eye out for some new material as well. Speaking of Wrongdoers, we are going to go into Sword and Mouth, Fire Eyes. Just before we leave you, Cory, where did you get inspiration for the lyrics in this song?
It kind of started out as I was reading a little passage from, or quote or whatever, from C.S. Lewis. I can't really quote it word for word or anything, but it's pretty much, if you're heading down the wrong path, the first person to do an about face and head the opposite direction is the most progressive. So that's pretty much what it comes from. I just like the idea that, you know, even if you are on the wrong path, but heading towards the right path, that's kind of an interesting way to think about it. You know, the things might not clear up for you automatically, but you are on the right direction. And I think that's what that song kind of talks about is, you know, it's okay to take risks, even if they might seem scary, because you're heading towards the right thing.